Hey everyone, how you doing this evening? Thanks for joining. This is CryptoVatsik. Nothing of what you're about to see is considered financial advice, and they're just my opinions. If you do enjoy this content, I would recommend that you subscribe to the channel for future updates, and I would really appreciate it if you gave this video a like to support the channel. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to do a technical analysis video today on Rose. We're on the daily on Binance here. And Rose seemed to have a ton of potential during the bull run. And, when you look at a chart like this, it does look like it's pretty much died out. But coins can recover from this bear market. And, when it had that much potential, unless something fundamentally sound has broken, then I think it has the potential to reach all-time highs again at some point in the future. So we'll get down to my drawings down here in a second. I think, looking at this, as we start to push up, I will start to mark out more key macro levels up in these areas. However, I just think that we've got lots of work to do before we get up to these levels. We're currently roughly 3x off the lows here to the next major area of this breakdown area that we had. So I'm really just going to stick to more what we're seeing currently since this low back here in May. So off of this May low, basically what we had was we had this nice short squeeze up, into this area of very brief consolidation, bearish consolidation in this area, hence the check marks, right? So we swept this high, we swept this high to sweep in liquidity, and then all the way up. That is technically a sweep. It fell short, but it is a sweep of that overall area. Now, with this June low, it really set the standard for that area, that key SR level that we wanted to flip into. If we were going to be bullish, we wanted to flip onto the upside of it. And so obviously we chopped around a little bit of consolidation here, bullish consolidation, obviously, because then we flipped to the upside. And then it found support back again over here a couple times until it was lost, right? So ultimately that kind of set the standard, and now we're trading below it. I will get into this in a second, a little bit more what we're seeing currently on a low time frame, but this is a key level in the short term to get back above if we want to see some more bulls, short squeezes or bullish price action. Then moving over now to this, what we have is this nice channel that I drew. And I just like it. It's just respecting the bottom band. Although we only have two taps at the top here at this point, right here and right here. We have lots of interaction with the EQ. Okay, so basically with this high here is resistance coming up here until it some consolidation until it broke to the upside and then came back down. Nice, beautiful retest, a couple actually 3 times here, and then just now kind of sideways chop, moving towards the top band of this. So, either we, I would expect us to maybe get a nice little push up and then potentially come back down, test the EQ kind of thing. That's possible, or we just chop sideways for a while until we drop down. I do think that this lower equilibrium trend will be tested at some point in the near future. Meanwhile, we had these highs swept, with these wicks over here, lots of opportunity here, liquidity being swept there, and then actually pushed high enough, this nice short squeeze right here into resistance, sweeping basically all of these highs of liquidity supply back, getting rejected, obviously coming back down. Now, clearly my invalidation point on Rose right now is in green. This is the demand zone. We tested it briefly over here a couple of times. Front ran here, and actually here as well. And that led to that nice push up, and then came right back down. Now we've tested it 1, 2, 3. We're just really chopping around, and we're back inside of this into this demand zone. So I want to see this demand zone hold in the short term if we're going to see any further upside. If we lose it, what I said earlier is I'd expect a tap of this equilibrium of the channel. Let's go to the 4-hour. So we are on the 4-hour now, zooming in closer to the current price action. First things first, we mark out the monthly open, right at this level, right around 4 cents. You can see it right there, 0.047 cents, That's our monthly open, and the reason why it's a key area is because it's on a high time frame. That's the area that will be respected on a high time frame. We're talking on the monthly, daily, weekly kind of thing. So on low time frame, that's obviously a key area that we want to reclaim. We'll just go ahead and make that red. Meanwhile, we got this horizontal range right here. Just sideways chop, really just a ranging asset, right? Coming up, testing the upper band, 1 shortfall here, 3, 2, 3. Huge wick above deviation, obviously nothing more than that. And, just coming back down, ultimately testing this EQ lots of times as support and resistance. And then now we've lost it and now acting as resistance. We've swept these highs. This high and this high have been technically swept at this point with this wick coming all the way up into here, into that level. This has got an X because this is untapped.
Okay, that's untapped supply up here. This is a high that has not been swept yet. So if we do reclaim, there's lots to be done before that, but if we reclaim the EQ, reclaim the monthly open, and reclaim the upper band of this horizontal channel, then potentially we can come up here. But the problem is we've got this downward channel, upper band of the downward channel. If you can remember that channel right here that we're talking about. Okay, we've got this guy, the upper band here. So we have only 2 attempts to break out. Only 2 attempts to establish the channel, right, at this point. So this would be our 3rd attempt at trying to break it, right? And oftentimes you would see on the 3rd attempt that sometimes it can, but on a pretty strong bearish trend, I would be hesitant to expect a breakout. So I'd be closely watching that. But again, it doesn't mean we can't shoot up like this kind of thing. I mean, this is ridiculous, but you could get a short squeeze just like this, where you have a huge pump basically on a couple of candles and then ultimately immediate rejection, right? So that it's possible. I'm leaning towards probably further chop within this range, and then maybe a tap of this the upper band of this range. And not actually sweeping this high. I'm leaning towards that just because the trend is so strong to the downside right now at this point. We're looking like we're knocking on the door of demand here to lose it eventually. Okay, so would not look to short in this area right here, right in the demand zone, right? This is why we have rules and criteria to follow, right? We're in the demand zone, so ultimately that'd be looking more for longs. We do have this market structure break here that I have cleanly drawn out, a horizontal there, okay, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher high, okay, market structure break, retest this order block right here, that big red candle. So, at least back up to the EQ, I'd imagine up to that level, that breakdown level right here. So it just depends what it does. You look for a long here, you put your stop loss below or below this low, so you'd be invalidated below that low kind of thing. So if it did fail down, then yeah, okay, that's fine. You'd be stopped out, but I wouldn't be looking for shorts. I just wouldn't be looking for shorts in the demand zone. So ultimately, if we do reclaim this and we come up and we kind of deviate around the monthly open and we get a market structure break, then I'd be looking to short basically the market structure break of that and then short the bearish retest around the monthly open kind of area, or potentially if it does up here of the upper band kind of thing, right? That's kind of what I'm looking for if you're looking to go short. And it's just a ranging asset, so I wouldn't be surprised if this just prolongs closer to this downward upper band of this downward channel, descending channel. Currently, it's looking like this level will hold, so wouldn't be surprised if we do come up and play around closer to the equilibrium here. Carefully watching this breakdown level right here. Okay, so just depends what it does. If it starts doing this, a little bit more consolidation above the EQ, obviously target the upper band of the range. But these are minor short-term trades, in my opinion, right? You're going after 6%, which can be good. But the risk is obviously, well, if you took a trade on this market structure break right here, your risk would be right here, right? Ultimately, this level right here, which I think is about a couple percent probably kind of thing. Yeah, 2 or 3%, right? So just looking for that good R&R. So if you're looking for a swing trade, obviously looking around in this demand zone for me is, kind of an ideal spot. And obviously stop loss below this low. This is quite low to put your stop loss down that low. So on a higher time frame, though, I do want to see green hold. So if you're able to get in a little bit further down in this demand zone, that's great, because this does kind of look weak ultimately at the moment. So it just depends what it does. It depends what kind of time frame you're trying to trade this at. But don't be swayed. On a macro time frame, it does look pretty terrible, but it's not unlike a lot of altcoins, right? I think when things change, you will see very different price action, in my opinion. So the bear market is, time capitulating people just by being boring, and people are capitulating their long-term bags. I mean, even people that bought in down here are pretty close to underwater. If not, yeah, they're underwater. So, it's just time capitulation. We saw the price capitulation events in here, and in here kind of thing. But we're just seeing that time capitulation now, where it's just that steady grind, and it's just like boring price action. But we need it. We need it to get to that accumulation zone. And, the longer this accumulates, the better, in my opinion, to really come up and test these all-time highs again in the future. So thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate the engagement, you guys, the likes, the comments. Let me know what you think in the comments. I want to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And you can also follow me on Twitter at CryptoVatsik as well. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.